Now at 6, a man is accused of killing 2 people and hurting his mother in a shooting. What we have learned overnight.
Plus, a big announcement today that aims to help the sewage crisis in the South Bay.
It's the honor of my life to accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States.
Governor Tim Walz addresses the nation. What we can expect as Kamala Harris accepts the Democratic nomination for president today.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
We're so happy you're with us here on this Thursday, San Diego. It is 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connerton.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. A lot of different activities this week, getting back into sports, perhaps,
a fun,
school,
crazy
all the
week.
things. Yes. So meteorologist Evan Rani getting you ready for the day. Hey, this cool down is exciting.
Cool down is exciting. I was just actually looking it up the last time the deserts had been in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's been since May.
What?
So
boy.
Finally, we are getting,
September.
exactly. We've had several months where every single day has made it in the triple digits across the deserts. Now with this cool down, there's a little bit of hope out there that the deserts will only make it to the double digits, 90s, by the time we get to Saturday. That's going to be our coolest point. In the meantime, though, today is a substantial cool down from yesterday. Yesterday was a start to that cool down, but it was only a degree or two, not all that noticeable. Today will be much more noticeable. 77 along the coast, 86 inland. Got a little bit of fog along the coast that we'll be talking about in just a few minutes. We'll also talk about how long this stretch of cooler temperatures will last. Back to you.
Evan, thank you so much. And now this morning, our top story here, San Diego police trying to figure out what led a man to shoot and kill 2 people in Point Loma. A third was injured, and we've learned she's the suspect's mother.
It happened yesterday afternoon in the 3600 block of Zola Street. Investigators still out on the scene. CBS 8's Regina Urita live there with everything we know about this suspect. And that suspect, Regina, now under arrest?
Yeah, that's correct, guys. It's been about 15 hours since that shooting took place, and I can still see patrol cars blocking off this area. It's been a long night for police, but we do know that they arrested the possible gunman. We're being told this was a family-related issue, that a possible suspect shot and killed 2 people and injured his 80-year-old mother. Now, they're still looking into additional evidence of the possible suspect they arrested last night, but this is video of what the scene looked like yesterday. It all started Wednesday afternoon here at the 3600 block of Zola Street in Point Loma. According to San Diego police, they received multiple calls about a possible shooting. When officers arrived, they had to breach the garage door of the home to check the scene. They found a man and a woman shot and killed, and another woman suffering from a gunshot wound. SDPD says a 60-year-old man was standing at the front of the house. The man was taken into custody. Officers then located a shotgun near the front of the house where the suspect was standing. As of this time, no other suspect is believed to be involved in this incident. SDPD's homicide unit are currently still investigating this area, but take a listen to what police told us.
We have 2 people who were killed, and our priority is to make sure that this person that we have apprehended is who did it and figure out exactly why and how it happened.
And the exact details of what happened and why it happened is still under investigation. We are not getting any confirmation just yet on who the 2 other people that were killed, who they were, if they were related to the possible gunman and his mother. As far as the mother, we do know she is currently in the hospital and is in stable condition. That's latest here in Point Loma. Regina Urita, CBS 8.
Regina, thanks for the updates there. In just a couple of hours here, we're going to learn new details about a contract to expand and repair the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant.
Now, this could be a huge step to fixing the ongoing sewage crisis. That plant has been overrun, broken. CBS 8's Chris Grow live near the border now to explain what we know about today's announcement that's coming. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And so, look, this money that is funding this project comes from that $400 million that had been set aside in federal funds to go ahead and repair and expand this wastewater treatment plant, which is seen as a huge part of this problem of cross-border pollution. But of course, there's red tape whenever it comes to federal funds and actually getting it to go to work in terms of bidding process and contracts and so forth. And so what this announcement is today is the result of all of that. more than $42 million being awarded in a construction bid to go ahead and start phase 1 of expanding and repairing this wastewater treatment plant. Now, of course, this comes from that federal funding that we talked about secured by the San Diego congressional delegation. As for this overall project to repair the plant, they want to double the current treatment capacity of 25 million gallons per day to reach 50 million gallons per day as the average flow. And they believe that this will stop 90% of untreated water from reaching our coast. Now, what we're going to hear a little bit more about today is what phase 1 entails and when we could even begin to see potentially phase 2, or how quickly we could begin to see progress. We know that Representative Juan Vargas, the congressman who represents a portion of this area, will, of course, be in attendance today to speak about that, and that'll be happening sometime around 10 o'clock this morning here at the plant, and of course something that we will bring to you as part of our midday show. Eric Canetta.
Time to sleep when you're dead. We're going to leave it on the field. That's how we'll keep moving forward. That's how we'll turn the page on Donald Trump.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, a former high school teacher and football coach, gave what he called a pep talk while accepting the Democratic nomination for vice president. Today, current Vice President Kamala Harris will accept the nomination for president at the Democratic National Convention. Yesterday, we heard from former President Bill Clinton and media mogul Oprah Winfrey.
Harris will work to solve our problems, seize our opportunities, ease our fears.
Let's all choose Kamala Harris.
Said only the way Oprah can say it.
Right. No one else can do it that way.
Yes. The Harris campaign says her acceptance speech tonight will focus on 3 objectives: her record, setting apart her agenda from former President Donald Trump's, and her optimistic vision for the country. The San Diego County Democratic Party is hosting a local watch party at Elijah's Restaurant on Claremont Mesa Boulevard at 5:30 p.m. And coming up here in a few minutes, our Verified team will look into some of the claims Governor Tim Walz made in his speech last night. Former President Donald Trump held his first outdoor rally since his assassination attempt last month. A wall of bulletproof glass surrounded the podium as Trump addressed a crowd in North Carolina yesterday.
Now, Trump briefly left the protection, though, to check on a woman who was having medical issues. During his speech, he acknowledged the criticisms from the Obamas at the DNC.
Barack Hussein Obama last night, take little shots. He was taking shots at your president. And so was Michelle.
Trump also criticized Vice President Kamala Harris, saying she ruined California. This morning, CBS News is reporting Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is considering ending his bid for the White House. 2 sources say the independent presidential candidate is expected to make an announcement about his campaign tomorrow. His campaign is reportedly in talks with former President Trump's team about a possible endorsement.
And to keep up with our 2024 election coverage, stick with CBS 8. You can also head to CBS8.com or download the CBS 8 app.
All right, let's check in on the forecast here. It looks a little cloudy.
A little cloudy, yeah. Patchy cloud cover, very similar to yesterday morning. Tuesday, we had nothing out there, no marine layer present, and that meant that we were able to see that nearly full moon very well. You should still be able to see it, or maybe last night you were able to see it. Now we're working with some of that cloud cover, especially up in North County. They tend to favor a lot of that. Fallbrook, Oceanside, both at reduced visibility, much more in Fallbrook, where we're at less than a quarter mile. If you look down to Brownfield, we're at 2.5 miles, so patchy to say the least. This afternoon, though, we're going to be watching for temperatures cooler than yesterday. We are finally noticing that cool down. So take a look. Santee and El Cajon hitting 86 degrees this afternoon. They were going for the 90s yesterday. 81 for La Mesa, 77 for San Diego. San Ysidro still at the low 80s, but likely going to drop down to the upper 70s by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon. This afternoon, though, already showing that cool down on hand. We take you up to North County from Fallbrook all the way down to RB. You've got 81 to 83 degrees, 86 for Escondido, and 85 for Poway. One of the only Eastern Valleys making it to the 90s is going to be Ramona at 91 degrees, still working with the 70s along the coast. For the other mountain ranges that you look at here, we've got primarily 80s, 82 for Mount Laguna, 84 for Alpine, 105 in Borrego Springs this afternoon. We're going to keep sliding between now and Saturday. Saturday being the coolest point ahead, another few degrees, but tomorrow's even cooler than today. Sunday will still stay pretty mild, very similar to this afternoon, and then we'll start to really notice that climb going into the beginning of next week. So it's short-lived, but still something notable. Walking out the door right now, 71 in downtown San Diego. Other parts of the southwestern U.S. really are working with those more mild temperatures. Bakersfield right now at 68 degrees. Palm Springs is at 79 degrees. Phoenix, Arizona at 88, and Vegas at 85. Let's look at traffic and see how your roads are this morning. Now, it's been very quiet. There's one surface street crash that we can take you to. This is just east of Santee. It's on Winter Gardens Drive, where it meets Linden Road. Not causing any major backups in the area. Not a heavily trafficked route either. So you should be able to head out at your normal speed on the major freeways this morning, aside from this Winter Gardens Road crash that we're seeing. All right, let's check in on border wait times. Both San Ysidro Port of Entry and the Otay Mesa Port of Entry are going to take you about 90 minutes in total, so about an hour and a half, regardless of which port of entry you're coming from. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Evan. And still ahead, we verify claims made by Governor Tim Walz as he accepted the Democratic nomination for vice president.
Plus, see the moment a woman taunted a tiger at a zoo, and it's not the only animal she tried to get close to. And which diet can potentially reduce your COVID risk?